the media fucking insane. That's always a plus. And MSNBC was just had their panties so far up their butt crack they could not pull them out all day long, and they were so mad that this was right behind where all the media people do their shots, do their filming, so that it was going to get in their shots when they were filming. And so I saw some recordings where they had blurred out all of the faces so that you couldn't see them. But I mean, masterstroke. I love it.
Are they going to leave that up all the time and just keep adding to it? Because I think we need like the entire lawn filled with these degenerates' faces.
Oh,
And throw in
hell yeah.
celebrities too. Like I think that Selena Gomez, there's that famous Selena Gomez video of her crying, but her face isn't moving because she's got so much Botox in it. Like throw that up there too, behind all of them.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, hell yes. We've been talking about that imagery for how long? I mean, it's got to be, since Trump won in November, about putting the heads on the pikes, having examples out there for these people not to fuck with us, and it's beautiful. And you know what? That rolls us right into the first serious topic, and that is, in my opinion, the best thing that the Trump DOJ has done in their time so far, all the way up here, coming up almost to May here. And that is last week, folks, we got 2 judges. Now, they are state judges. We didn't get a federal one yet, but, give them time. Got 2 crooked state judges, one out of New Mexico, one out of Wisconsin.
Are you serious, Guess?
And both of them related to illegal immigration charges. The douchebag down in New Mexico and his wife, they get hit with harboring because they're apparently got some vicious gang member living in their house. And that whole thing is really strange. And I think we haven't even heard all of the creepy details that are going to come out about that. There's something just really off about that. And then the judge and his wife posing with these firearms and stuff. I think we're going to find out a whole bunch of other stuff, like this illegal probably got those firearms for them across the border. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's very possible in this thing. But you know what? That got everybody stirred up, yeah. But the one that killed them was the one out of Milwaukee. This judge, and I got it written down here, they got her for obstruction because she was outright obstructing the INS when they came to her courtroom and tried to get an illegal. And this illegal had been already deported once, and had come back and committed more crimes and was in her courtroom for these crimes. And you've all heard what she did, right? She made sure and ushered the illegal out the side door so ICE couldn't get him, right? Well, there's more to that. And I'll give you an excerpt of it. When this judge learned that ICE was outside to get the guy, she finds out, goes out into the hallway and starts screaming at the INS people, at the ICE people. I mean, she's so pissed off, and then tells them, no, you go talk to the chief judge, whatever the fuck that means, right? She comes back into her courtroom, takes the defendant, this illegal, and the defense attorney back in her chambers, then takes them out a private exit and tells them to leave. I mean, classic obstruction. She stopped federal agents in the course of their duties and facilitated the escape of this guy. And I guess they got him, not far away from there. They got him really quickly. But the Democrats and the media blew the fuck up over this. If you saw their reaction to this, they went insane over this. And I know why. Versus the other one, versus the New Mexico one. This one in Milwaukee, see, that was obstruction. And that's the great thing. They use that. The Merrick Garland DOJ used that. James Comey used that, and that's that charge. Basically, it's fairly easy to put on people that are getting in your way, that are trying to stop you. And that's what drove the Democrats crazy here, because they know if they're willing to put this on this judge, they can start putting it on everybody, right? That's it. The way this drove them insane was just amazing. And once again, these are two big heads put on pikes out there as examples to everybody else.
I loved that. I absolutely loved seeing her stomping out of that courtroom, because it really hit me after seeing this judge that so many on the left in positions of like real power, they're these miscreants and malcontents in school who were like never, they were never picked, they're never popular. And what's been allowed in our society now, it's truly like the 1980s movie, The Revenge of the Nerds situation. Like they've become these power hungry communists. And I read some old interviews with this Judge Dugan, and based on her worldviews previously, she actually believes this illegal, this violent criminal is a victim, because she's looking at herself as a victim. She was never picked first in school. She was never the pretty chick. She sees herself as this victim. And leftism, socialism, liberalism is all about victimhood. So she's sympathizing with this illegal who is now a victim of Donald Trump's policies. And I mean, she thinks she's a goddamn abolitionist running an underground railroad for illegals. Like, she would look at Laken Riley and think, well, you deserved that. You know, you're this white, successful, pretty girl. And that's why these judges are so dangerous on the left. They look at anyone successful, happy, attractive, godly, and they want to destroy it. I mean, this judge wants illegals to invade nice towns. She wants this criminal who I think he physically beat like 2 people and put him in the hospital. She wants him to get out and get violent with someone. Every talking point in these interviews that I read from this communist slob, Khrushchev has made the same talking points as her, and that goes for Boasberg too, or any other judge who's defying the orders of the United States government. So I don't care what title these assholes have. As a collective society, we have to begin calling these judges mentally ill communists, because that's what they are.
Well, you've seen the Democrats, and the famous examples, going right back to Hillary Clinton back in 2016 and on forward. You've seen these people just specialize in obstruction. If they ever feel like you're coming after them in any way, or they might be in any kind of jeopardy, they just start destroying documents, intimidating witnesses, getting everybody to shut up. And see, for the last 10 years, no one has ever dared put an obstruction charge on them, which they of course deserve. You all remember what Hillary Clinton did. Hillary Clinton destroyed her fucking hard drive. And of course, no reasonable prosecutor would prosecute her for that. Oh, no, only because it was Hillary. If that was any one of us right here on this Spaces, any one of us would have gotten our asses fucking charged for that shit. That's what, like I said, that's what drove them crazy, is that finally their stuff that they do on a daily and weekly basis out there actually got charged, and it scares the shit out of them.
So what's the consensus? Is she Kathy Bates?
Yo, Guess says or your Astraz is in the house. What's up? Came out, Wisconsin Governor Evers told all his state employees they are not to cooperate with. I saw that, and I saw the memo. If they did not follow his order, he would use administrative punishment if they did not comply. Yeah, so we need to arrest him then, right? So Judge Dugan was following his internal memo that his office sent out. It was leaked today. Wow. That's wild. So are they going to arrest him? I've been good, your ass, How about you? Dude, that's awesome, Guess. Yes. I've got YouTube videos up that are like an ode to the pickle barrel, right? Guess. Dude, you know what's crazy is like all the banks that financed Elon Musk have made out like bandits. The loan sold at 98 cents on the dollar, which is pretty much incredible. They said it was amazing. Oh yeah. No, Pickle Barrel's great, man. I can't believe we don't have one in Billings anymore. It's really unfortunate. We don't have them in we used to have one in Billings. Now they're only in Bozeman and Livingston. Man, dude. Frick, that makes me want Pickle Barrel bad right now. I'm gonna have to go soon anyway to eat. I didn't really eat dinner before I started streaming. The sale was a long time coming. In April 2022, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, and 5 other banks agreed to lend the money to help Musk buy Twitter. The plan was to divvy up $13 billion in debt, sell it to investors, and earn millions in fees. By the time the deal closed, the markets had tanked and investors were wary of betting on Twitter's debt. The unloved loans sat on the bank's balance sheets for more than 2 years while the financial prospects of the newly christened X looked dimmer and dimmer. By the summer of 24, the X deal was considered the worst buyout banks had agreed to finance since the '08 financial crisis. Everything turned with the election of Trump as president and the rise of Musk as a crucial Trump ally, catalyzing a frenzy among investors to get a slice of Musk. Advertisers such as Amazon started coming back to the platform, helping Musk to raise more capital for X. Then Musk merged the social media platform with his budding AI startup, forming a venture with a combined value of $113 billion. Banks have sold $11 billion of X loans to investors since early February. In a sign of how eager investors were, Monday's sale of $1 billion in debt appeared even while markets have been in the doldrums since Trump announced tariffs. Bankers said they felt the high-quality nature of the debt meant they could sell the debt despite market volatility. In the end, banks found a graceful exit from the $13 billion in financing that weighed on them for 2.5 years. Though they incurred losses, the banks collected hefty interest payments and maintained relationships with Musk in hopes of winning fees from his next big deals. Then they unloaded billions of debt at only slight discounts. For those who never bet against Elon, they seem to be right this time. Musk's offer to buy Twitter for $44 billion was a 40% premium to Twitter's stock, reflecting the potential he saw in the social media company. Free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated. He tried to get out of the deal after he closed. His moves to slash cost, staff, and content moderation spooked advertisers. The banks watched anxiously. Banks marked down their positions to as low as 65 cents on the dollar. Hedge funds made offers to the banks to buy the loans at fire sale prices, but the banks kept on waiting for things to improve. The loans were stuck longer than every similar unsold deal since the 08-09 financial crisis, according to PitchBook. But the upside for banks was that they were getting paid an estimated $1.5 billion annually in interest on the debt, according to Musk. $1.5 billion a year? That doesn't sound too bad. Holy cow! Baba Wank with the primer for 10 months. Thank you, Baba Wank. Appreciate that, man. He will never recover from that? Wait, who will never recover from what? Then the AI cavalry arrived. Musk in 23 launched XAI, interlocking it with X from the start. The AI company used data from X to train its large language models, and the social media company was given a 25% stake in the new entity. The stake became an increasingly valuable asset on X's balance sheet and gave the banks evidence to prove that X's loans were investable. After Trump won the election, plans to sell X's debt were revived almost immediately. The biggest boost came when Mex said he was merging X and XAI. Folding X into a larger company competing in a global race to develop sophisticated generative AI tools boosted investor interest even more. The legacy of the hung debt might have longer-term implications. Prompted pay cuts and an exodus of bankers. Wow, X and other hung loans prompted pay cuts and an exodus of bankers from Barclays. They also found some banks to pull back on lending, which gave room for competitors in the booming private credit space to muscle in. Bankers at competitors that weren't involved with the deal said it was a point of pride that they weren't involved in helping Musk take Twitter private. Now, the combined XAI is looking to raise more capital. The company is targeting to raise roughly $20 billion. Wow, dude. Freaking wow, man. That's pretty wild.
You're looking at a train station in Valencia in Spain that has been hit by a massive power outage that authorities there say is impacting the entire Iberian Peninsula. Let's get straight to our breaking news this hour out of southern Europe. And a massive power outage has knocked out electricity across Spain and Portugal, causing chaos at airports, at train stations, and on the roads. The Portuguese national grid operator says all of the Iberian Peninsula has been impacted and that some parts of France...
Frick, I got it. I'm going to go eat dinner, guys. I'll be back on later. I shouldn't have started streaming. Should have ate dinner